Hi, good morning, my Facebook friends and followers. How was your weekend? I hope you all have a wonderful times with your family and your own over the last 2 days. All right. Today is my number 85 HDB resales fingertips sharing. Today's topic is on buying schemes under family, which means the husband and wife. All right. Can one of them be the owner and the other be the essential occupier? Now, this question has been posed to me very often, and quite surprisingly that many wasn't aware that this can be done. All right, so the answer is yes, you can be done, but what are the things you have to look out for? All right, and why people do that? Now, people do that is because they have a long-term planning, all right, for escaping the ABSD after the MOP period. Now, I'll give you an example. If let's say a husband and wife is to buy a HDB resale at this point of time using husband and wife name together, come MOP period 5 years later, they have a plan to buy a prior property as a second investment property, right? Now ABSD will come, all right? So that's a no-go for them, because they may think that, hey, ABSD here, so how? What should I do? Should I go decoupling? All right. The news is that they can't do decoupling right now since April 2016. Before that, yeah, HDB accept the decoupling process, no issue. All right, you can just go to the branch office and get it done, and probably in the period of 1 or 2 months, when the terms and conditions paperwork all have been settled, you can go. All right, the outgoing party, say for example the husband, can happily go and buy the next property and no ABSD involved. Okay, but after April 2016, HDB stopped all this process, the decoupling. All right, so what happened now? Now, if you are serving a buyer, a family, all right, you may want to value add by informing them, hi, dear sir, dear ma'am, all right, do you have a longer terms planning, like probably after the MOP period? Okay, you have some plans to go and invest in another property while holding on to what you have in a HDB. Well, if the answer is yes, or if they would like to find out further with you, all right, what should you do? What can they do? Well, these are some of the advice you probably can follow. Okay, but then again, before I move on further, a disclaimer. All right, what I'm offering today, the views and my suggestions is purely from my personal point of view and experience. All right, so don't hold me back in case if there's anything wrong on that. It's still subject to authorities approval and things like this. Okay, now so the couple will be just asking you, so Kelvin, what should I do if let's say I have this long-term plan, okay, that after 5 years later, either of my spouse, we are ready to buy a property? Well, I guess it's good to tell them that, hey, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, all right, if you have this plan, then start from now. You have to have this understanding. Only owner's CPF, only owner's salary can be qualified for the loan application, can be qualified for using on the CPF usage. All right, so if you are comfortable, Mr. Buyer and Mrs. Buyer, all right, then go ahead with this. All right, so which means, for example, in terms of loan qualification, you can either use the husband's name or the wife's name as the application for the processing of their salary, their age, and for the qualification of the loan eligibility. All right, because either one is going to be the owner. And either of them, if let's say if it's going to be the eventual owner, owning their CPF in their ordinary account can be used for whatever CPF usage that is necessary towards the HDB resale home. For example, the down payment of 10% if they're taking a HLE, all right, or the principal payment, or the money installment, or the stamp duty. Okay, so these are some of the things, 2 things that you have to be very clear of when you're doing this advising on how to do this. Start from the beginning, buying under one person's name. All right. Well, the other spouse may find that, hey, Kelvin, wow, like this, I quite worry, no. All right, what happens if my spouse sell the house without me knowing? Okay, the good news is there's this spouse consent for selling. In fact, there's also a spouse consent for buying also. So when you enter into the options, all right, there's actually only one person's name is going to be written down in the option to purchase. All right, the other spouse got to give consent in the buying also. All right, so this is something you may have to take note as an agent when you advise your customer. All right, so I probably put it again, as some of you have just joined, thank you so much. These are my dear friends, my Facebook followers. All right, I just repeat again. If let's say you are serving a group of buyers with a longer terms of thinking of investing in a private property, you may like to propose from the start before they actually enter into uh, buying a property. You may want to inform them that hey, you can actually buy under one person's name. All right, how to do it? Very simple. All right, only use the person who have sufficient CPF and sufficient income to qualify for the loan, because it's going to be a sole person's name. All right, please remember that now it's only one person's name that you can be qualified to go for the loan and also for the CPF usage only. Okay, so which means to say if you are doing the intent to buy, you can only use one person's name as owner right from the start and the other person as an occupier. Okay, so don't forget about this thing. And when you enter into the option to purchase, all right, the standard HDB option to purchase, remember just put in one person's name will do. All right, but like I said just now, the spouse name who is the occupier, you also have to give the spouse consent to purchase. All right, likewise, in case many years later they wanted to go and sell off this property, all right, the spouse name who is only the occupier also have to give the consent to sell. All right, so no issue about worrying whether the house has been sold without the knowledge of the other spouse who is just an occupier. All right, in either way of purchase or selling, the consent needs to be given. Okay, now coming back again, HDB has stopped all this since 2016 April for decoupling, but decoupling only for husband and wife. They have stopped this policy. All right, but HDB is still ongoing doing decoupling in different scenario. Okay, for example, parents, father and mother, all right, after some period of times they cannot probably go through with their loan. All right, they need incoming party, usually the son or the daughter, to help up in the financing the monthly installment. So they bring in the children, either maybe the son or the daughter. All right, this is again calling adding in the party. But this son or daughter, after some periods inside this property, may want to pull out themselves because they have formed a new family. All right, so this is also called a decoupling process. Okay, so in this scenario, this is case one. All right, this type of scenario. Right, another scenario, for example, all right, there may be some failure in their marriage, for example. All right, a husband and wife, due to some issues, right? Then with the court order in place, one of the party may have to be the outgoing person. All right, so all these things can actually be done also over in the branch office. All right, then of course there is also another type. Let's say for example, a death case involved. All right, husband and wife, one of them actually left. All right, and the other party still surviving. They have to change the name. All right, this is also called a decoupling process. It's just that many of us, when we come to our mind in decoupling, first thing come to our mind is, oh, husband and wife. All right, no, actually it's not true. There's more than that. All right, there's actually more than these few scenarios that I mentioned. But if you would like to know more, you can PM me. All right, and let me know what are the things you probably had in mind. All right, I'm here to help you. All right, if you like what I'm sharing, maybe you can just give me a like in my post and share my post towards with your friends so that more people can enjoy. All right, like I say, my sole purpose of doing this fingertip sharing is more towards sharing what I have gathered along these few days from my team members, from my division members who have been asking me, and I thought some of the questions may be good to share across to the Facebook. All right, I learned from one Chinese word called 独乐乐不如众乐乐. All right, so in order for just one or two of my team members who gain from what shared by me, I thought, hey, maybe it's a good idea to share across to many of you over through the Facebook. And if you like my sharing, why don't you share through your own timeline, all right, and share to your friends so that more people can enjoy what I have had in mind today. Okay, now tomorrow I'll be sharing more onto this HDB resale buying scheme, and if you have any probably topics that you have in mind that you need me to be clarified or just want to share across, just text me, let me know so that I can put it across in this Facebook fingertip sharing. All right, So I guess today I have shared so much about these singles, rather couples buying under one person's name. All right, I hope you all like it so much that remember to come back again. Now I don't really fix the time of my sharing, but most of the time it should be at around noon period, so that most of us are ready for our lunch, and then before you go for a quick lunch, you can catch up with me for a short while. All right, as a promise, I wouldn't go more than 10 minutes because this is only a fingertips. Okay, I'll be doing a content sharing very soon of why HDB prices are where they are today from say 7 years back, 10 years back. What actually happened? Okay, while many of them were just informed to you that, oh, because BTO they ramp up the supply and all those things. Well, I have my own research, and I hope I might have own definition about it, and I hope to actually share more with all of my Facebook friends and followers here, so that when you share with your customers, you have more power behind you, that you know how to talk more, why the prices has where they are today, what happened, what actually caused them, will the price be moving up further, and things like this. All right, I thought this would be good in terms of the sharing, but look out for this sharing. I will schedule it ASAP because due to some technical requirements, I'm actually waiting for my new notebook to come by. So all these have actually stopped me from doing a proper presentation. All right, I promise all of you here, when my notebooks are here, I will do a proper sharing with a screen sharing and things like this. Okay, now thank you so much today for all these watching. I had more than 10 or 11 of you here today. All right, thank you so much. I will catch up with you tomorrow, and remember, please like my post, and if you like what I'm sharing today and if you find it's beneficial, why don't you share it to your friends? All right, thank you so much again, once again, my dear friends. Bye bye.